Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome back to another empowering hempisode of HempAware Radio. If you're a longtime listener, you've likely noticed that it's been a minute since I've put on a show in a while. My team and I have been up to doing some amazing things, and I've finally created some time to dive back into this enjoyable process of documenting and sharing the most vital information and insights on the hemp industry, its uses, and especially as it relates to marketing, branding, and really making a difference with hemp. And if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome aboard. My name is Tyler Hemp, born Tyler Hoff, but I go by Tyler Hemp. You're a hemp enthusiastic, empowering, hemp educational host here to empower your hemposphere. We're focused on what's most important. We recognize that this one plant can provide our food, our shelter, our clothing, energy, medicine, in so many aspects of our life. And so get out your pens and paper, boys and girls, your hemp paper, that is. You might want to jot down some keys and some notes while listening in with our special guest, Min Lee, today. He's the president of a beautiful and quite popular hemp CBD pet company called Honest Paws. And you can check them out at honestpaws.com. But first, as you might know, I'm broadcasting this hempisode on the upper Sacramento River in the Trinity Mountains. And I'll be joined, in just a moment by Min Lee. And I'm super excited to have him on today's show to discuss with you not only some of the amazing stories about what this compound called CBD or cannabidiol, otherwise pronounced cannabidiol, it's doing some amazing things for pets and their owners, frankly. And since our mission here at HempAware and our purpose is to assist others, whether it's individuals, entrepreneurs, hemp companies, to succeed in their businesses with hemp, I'm also going to be hopefully extracting some helpful wisdom and firsthand experience on what it takes to market, brand, and succeed with your hemp company or project. So let's get right down to it. Hempsters, welcome, Min. I'm so glad to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Tyler. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I certainly appreciate the opportunity to talk about hemp.
Most definitely. This industry definitely attracts people that I believe have the interest of the greater good at heart. And so I'm really excited to learn more about Honest Paws today. And before we get into the brand and some of your wisdom on the industry and business stuff, let's talk more specifically about your background. And you have a really solid background when it comes to strategic marketing, branding, banking, all sorts of stuff. Give us kind of the 1 to 2 minute background on you.
Sure. Yeah. I'm a San Diego native. I grew up out here. After college, I actually, I majored in economics and kind of started in the finance field, and my professional career development took me down the path of, the investments and banking world. And so I worked for a lot of the big Wall Street companies. Merrill Lynch was one, Wells Fargo was another. Subsequent to that, I left to pursue entrepreneurial, ventures. I had the entrepreneurial itch that I had to scratch, and once I dove into that, I just never looked back. And so started, developing businesses from the ground up, and met Chelsea, who you spoke with. I met her through a colleague of mine, and that kind of segues me into the birth of Honest Paws, because what happened was Chelsea had a dog, Baby Rose. She was a little, probably like a 6 or 7 pound poodle breed. Anyways, her dog was suffering from seizures, and she was. She tried everything to figure out what she can do to treat her dog, and she came across CBD and started treating her dog with CBD, and it was just a miraculous change in her dog. And when she told me about this, I thought, wow, it's really interesting. I would have never thought. And so started looking into it and started really studying CBD and all the benefits of hemp derived products. And I'd say, hey, I think you have something here. And so and Chelsea just she's just one of the brightest people I know, and it just seemed like I think we have a business here, and looking forward to the opportunity of working with her. And next thing you know, we launched Honest Paws, and here we are.
Wow. What a beautiful story. And, those are the best types of companies that are formed, that a true, genuine need is being filled. And I've read through Honest Paws' website. Your guys' branding is super clean. I can tell you're integrous with your products, and you just want people to get results. And I really appreciate your mission and purpose and what you guys are up to. Are there any other profound stories or just results that you've heard back from others? Obviously, I recognize we're not able to make claims or really say that this cures or treats anything, but I've personally just heard some really amazing stories, about pets and their arthritis, or just years and years of not being able to go on walks, and after taking CBD or so what have you seen or heard over the years?
So we make it a point to really get as much feedback as possible from our customers, and so we literally hear amazing stories every week. And most recent examples was actually 4th of July. 4th of July was a big time for us, and we were very busy because of 4th of July being a fireworks holiday. And with a lot of people don't know this, but the 4th of July is the leading day out of the entire year where dogs are reported lost. And that's because of the fireworks. The dogs get scared. Yeah, they get scared, they panic, and it triggers them to actually run away. And so we had, great response from people who were saying, God, our dogs, my dog freaks out every year, and this year it was just a totally different, situation, and we actually managed to enjoy, the holidays because our dog, wasn't trying to run away and barking and going crazy. Outside of that, though, just like you said, we get reports every single week about people who are saying, hey, my dog is, suffering through cancer. It's not, by no means has it it's a cancer gone. It's not a cancer cure, but the product has made my dog's life so much more meaningful right now. He now has the strength to do things. The pain is less severe. So I have, it's like I have my old dog back. And, things like that. It's just so rewarding to hear because, it's nice to know that you're selling a product that just is so effective. And like you, if I could, I would, shout from rooftops about how amazing CBD and cannabis-derived products can be.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's amazing how all these years we've gone without having access to these cannabinoids. And as many of our listeners may already know or hearing for the first time, we actually have an endocannabinoid system that takes in these nutrients and actually boosts our immune system. It helps our nervous system. It helps to offset pain and nerves, and it helps regrow nerves. And I mean, there's just dozens and dozens of benefits. And, so, when it comes to CBD and the products that you guys offer, can you share some of the most popular products that you're currently offering and that people are coming back for more, or just kind of an overview of your products?
Yeah, the most popular products right now are probably the dog treats. And so, CBD is not exactly, as an oil, it's a tough delivery system for a lot of dogs that are kind of fickle to having someone shove a syringe down their mouth. Dogs are very different from humans, and so we try to create a product that allowed the dogs to enjoy receiving the treatment. And so, but it's imperative that we kind of create something that was healthy too. So it's spent grains that are accompanied with other ingredients that are all organic, and so organic flour, organic eggs, organic coconut oil, and which we use to kind of to bake the product itself, and so the calming dog treats is probably our most popular formula, because I think just by the inherent nature of how people kind of relate cannabis to, how it can affect the biology of an animal. They can accept, CBD product is probably good for my dog. It suffers from, separation anxiety. And so that seems to be the most popular product right now.
Awesome. And so, I mean, this is such a burgeoning industry still. And I personally have been in the hemp industry over 15 years, and only in the last, 2-3 years, or really 4 years since the federal farm bill has there been access to hemp in this way. And CBD has certainly led the way in the recent years of popularizing hemp once again. And so it's exciting because people are learning about CBD, and then they're wanting to learn about hemp protein and hemp seed oil and all the other amazing products that it can produce. Yeah. But when it comes to CBD, there's still, I believe, a lot of confusion or just cannabis in general. There's been 80 plus years of demonization and confusion type media to confuse
Reefer
the people.
Madness, right?
Exactly, yeah, reefer madness consciousness, or I call it the hempnosis. Everyone's been hypnotized. So we're dispelling, all of the hempnosis and raising awareness again about the truth. Hence, hemp aware. It's about awareness first, and once we have awareness, then we can make better choices. And so, what are some of the most popular or most common questions that people ask you when they're wanting to take CBD, or maybe some of the most common misconceptions, would you say?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. The most common misconception leads to the most common question, which is, does it get my dog high? And so a lot of people automatically assume, because it's derived from a cannabis plant, that it's going to get my dog high. The reality is CBD is completely different from THC, which is the psychoactive ingredient that's typically found in a cannabis plant. So CBD has no psychoactive effects. And so that's probably the biggest misconception. But we try to do what we can to, with some of our content on our website and with our amazing customer service, just answering this question over and over again, which we're fine doing, because the more people that are aware, the better.
Exactly. Yeah, once again, it comes down to awareness. And CBD, being a non-psychoactive cannabinoid, can give us the benefits without, the nuisance, some might say, of the high, or, just the psychoactive effects. A lot of people nowadays, I actually just spoke to a gentleman most recently who, for 10 years, has been making Rick Simpson oil, which is medical or recreational cannabis. And he's, had a friend who was like 83, and he made this oil for him. He was dying of cancer. He took this oil, and the guy is now like 96, and he's still going strong.
Wow.
He told me, I just don't want to deal with the high. I don't like it. I take the stuff at nighttime, but, the next day I still feel it, and I just would prefer not to. And so he's getting more, into the CBD side of things, it's just such a great way to introduce people to this plant. And so thank you for sharing. Was there any other common questions or, like as far as dosage, is there recommended dosages for if you have a large dog versus small dog, or can pretty much any pet take this? Reptiles, birds.
Right
like
now we're concentrating mostly. We're concentrating mostly on canines right now, but obviously there are other animals that can benefit. Felines being one as well. Dosage happens to be another one of our most common questions. And although there's not a per se, strict guideline as to, hey, if, your dog, based on the dog's weight should take this much CBD, but typically the general mind frame should be maybe roughly about 5 milligrams for every 10 pounds that the dog weighs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So 5 milligrams for every 10 pounds, you said?
You got it. Yeah.
Great. And so back to this whole thing of a endocannabinoid system, I'm pretty certain all mammals have an endocannabinoid system, right? Where they can receive, they have receptors in their cells, in their central nervous system or immune system to receive that. I don't know if birds do or reptiles, but that's a curious question. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, reptiles being cold-blooded, I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. I don't want to misspeak, but in terms of the endocannabinoid system, yeah, absolutely, mammals can. They do obviously benefit from this. Also, with you get a CBD oil so we use a full spectrum oil. So there's CBD full spectrum and there's isolate. Full spectrum is basically, we think full spectrum is more beneficial because it contains different cannabidiols as well as terpenes that you don't find in just like a CBD isolate. And so terpenes, and there's so many, but they're also called isoprenoids, but you have, things like linolene, myrcene, limonene, terpenol. Every single terpene has actually pinene. You got it. Yeah, there's about 24 actually. Yep, you got it. Yep. And they all have a different use case.
Right.
Yep, you got it. And so when you have the terpenes being introduced to the endocannabinoid system, in addition to CBD, you get what's called the entourage effect. And it's a more effective, studies have shown it to be a more effective results. From a full spectrum
I always exactly. Yeah, full spectrum it's a much more holistic approach, and I'd compare it to taking a supplement such as creatine. It's an isolated one amino acid versus a whole food complex protein powder. It's a completely different experience, and the body receives it differently when you've got the enzymes intact, or in your case, if it's a full spectrum, you've got all the other cannabinoids that are non-psychoactive like CBG or CBN, CBC, and in harmony with those
CBDA.
CBDA. So there's that harmonization, so to speak, the entourage effect. Well, that's awesome. I think we've definitely covered some really good ground when it comes to the CBD pet topic. I'd love to dive in for the last 10 minutes about your business, kind of some of the biggest challenges that you've had as a hemp company, a CBD company. What would you say are some of the most challenging aspects of owning a hemp or CBD-based company today?
Well, I think, and this is probably mutual with almost everybody else that's an owner-operator within this industry. A lot of ways our government still kind of approaches cannabis through we just spoke about the reefer madness, lens, for lack of a better term. And so as a result from that, you get challenges that arise, things, because of the stigma of cannabis. And so some of the challenges seep into actually business operations. So things like banking and merchant processing, and it creates these hurdles. And And, if you step back and look at just broad picture, it creates a lot of confusion with the laws and regulations. And so I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges. But things are changing, and things are constantly changing for the better. Obviously we're seeing internationally countries, that are steps ahead of us already. You have Canada just most recently has changed their entire approach to marijuana. And, the U.S. is slowly getting there. It's more states than not now have some type of approach to accepting cannabis in one way or another, right? Whether it's for medicinal purposes or recreational. Yeah. Right. And so we're getting there, slowly but surely. But, as a business owner, we certainly hope that things move a little quicker than it has been.
Yeah, exactly. And so you mentioned banking, merchant processing, the stigma in people's minds as it relates to marijuana, just kind of those have, it sounds like, been some of the biggest challenges. What would you say are some of the solutions, or some of the ways that you've been able to overcome some of these challenges, and what have you learned from them?
Well, it's a lot of it is just networking, and the industry as a whole, it's still relatively new, and so you'll even find when you're trying to network and find business partners that can help resolve some of these issues, whether it's banking or merchant processing. You get a lot of hey, you might want to try this person. I think this person might be able to help you, and it's it can 9 times out of 10 it's a dead end. But you just keep trying, and you keep trying, and so I spent months. Literally, we as a company, we spent months trying to identify and engage the right banking partners and merchant processing partners, and CBD sources, and all the way down the line. And
right,
it's challenging because it's so new that you have almost everybody trying to put their stake in the ground and claim a piece of the industry, which is fine. I love it. But because of that, you also get some fringe operators that, can, they talk the talk, but don't necessarily walk the walk.
Yeah. Yeah. It attracts, when there's a lot of money involved, it can attract people that are after the money and don't necessarily have their heart in the right place. And at the same time, this industry has really, I think, attracted people that are really here for the greater good, knowing it, well aware its potential. There's well-meaning people out there, I think, that they want to get involved, and they just don't quite know how. They're good people. They want to start a business. They want to get involved, and they just quite don't know how. And you've done it. I mean, you've got a brand, you've got products, you've got a team, and you're out there, you're doing it. And so what would you say are some of the keys to your success thus far? I mean, you've worked with major corporations, so what are some of the most crucial components of having a successful and professional brand, whether it's a startup or a big business?
Sure. Well, I would say first and foremost, have a quality product to build around, because if you have that, a lot of the typical challenges fall by the wayside. If you have a core product that you can stand by, you have confidence that it's a quality product that your customers will come back for over and over again. That really drives the retention lever, right? We want our customers coming back, and so that would be number one. Number two, we, us as a team within our company, we always had this kind of this statement, this mantra that it's okay to fail, just fail fast.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we always approach things. You know, we're fortunate. We're very fortunate because we do have such a strong team, and we've experienced successes that have allowed us to kind of keep that ball rolling to where we can afford to fail more oftentimes than other startups might.
Sure.
Understanding that we're going to learn from that and fix the issues. But even at a small scale, you know, your typical, your startup that's a week old, right? Still, you can still live by that. You know, it's okay to fail. You're going to, but just fail fast, recognize your failure and how to fix it and how not to do it again.
Absolutely.
Outside of that, just know your strengths and weaknesses. Know what you're good at. Know what each of your team members are good at, because then you can understand where your holes are and how to fill them. And you can only do that if you're humble.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of my teachers refers to it as the teachability index. It's a high willingness to accept change and a high willingness to learn. Like, you got to be able to let go of your old conceptions and beliefs to learn something new. And another one of my mentors says on the topic you just mentioned, building a team and focusing on what you're best at. He said, do what you do best and delegate the rest.
Yeah, I love that. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, we just have a few more minutes, and I love talking about everything hemp. I had a near-death experience when I was a teenager, or at least, I kind of dabbled with, like, why am I here? I just started asking that deep question, and I realized hemp was my vehicle. And there's so many things that a person can do with this plant and what it can do for humanity. But what would you say is your favorite part about being in the hemp industry?
Well, me personally, I love the fact that it's an organic approach to treating a lot of these use cases, especially in the pet industry. The pet industry tends to mirror the human industry, and so we call that humanization, right? And so you start to see pet products pop up that are similar to, a human product. Which is good, but now we start to see things that are the bad things from the human side that are creeping into the pet side. And so you have veterinarians that are now like on the human medical side, where they're being pushed to use, drugs and prescription medication and things that, quite frankly, they could be addressed by, an organic approach, right? Yeah, a natural approach like cannabis. And so I think finding this wonderful, component that can treat our pets, it's an effective way and it's an organic way. It's a much more healthier way to treat them, and allows, meaningful years of pet ownership. I think that's probably my biggest inspiration and my favorite part of dealing in this industry.
Well, I love it. I appreciate your time very much. Honest Paws is an amazing company. Go check it out if you're being introduced to Honest Paws. The link is in the description of this show, honestpaws.com. Feel free to, reach out if you have any questions. I'm sure Min and his team will be happy to answer your questions and get you some quality products so that your pets can experience the relief that all these humans are with these amazing CBD products. And just kind of as a parting comment, there are products out there that are using less than par or up to speed products that are lower quality, such as isolated materials. I love that you're doing the full spectrum thing. I think it's far more beneficial to our pets and ourselves. So thank you so much for your time, Min, and to your team. And I really look forward to working with you guys into the future.
Absolutely, Tyler. It was a pleasure. Thanks for the time.
All right. We'll talk to you real soon.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make it Hempowering and Hempucational Day by going to hempaware.com, or you can call us at 805-410-4367 if you're wanting to integrate hemp into your projects, into your company, Or if you are a hemp company and you need some branding, marketing, or educational services, check out hempaware.com. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.